I'll get that screwy rabbit this time. Get him, Wobot!
What's up? Let's party! Damn butt magic! There they go again. That's all, folks.
Ready, set, it's time.
Come on!
To play
Ta-da!
with the Muppet Babies.
Animal no get.
Kermit.
I love playing songs.
Here's the deal for the audience watching. You two are friends. You two have had so much crossover in your lives. The more that I continue to study, and by the way, when you get to, I get to researching you two was an incredible joy. Yeah. Last night, I got to watch Looney Tunes on HBO Max. I got to watch Muppet Babies on Disney Plus. It was an incredible way to wind down the day and do research. And look, sometimes I do research. I got to read a dry book or check out model photos or something like that. For you guys, best research ever. But let's talk about the crossover between the two of you. Both work on Muppet Babies.
Yes,
that is correct.
They're Kermit up there. Yes. Fozzie.
He's always on hand. It's either
Fozzie, there you are.
It's either him or him. It just depends.
Yeah.
You know, this one's a little freakier, but this is definitely child safe.
I love freaky Marvin Martian there. Now you both worked on Looney Tunes. Currently, Eric,
yes.
you are run down the list on Looney Tunes, Eric.
On Looney Tunes cartoons, I play
Bugs Bunny, what's up, Doc? Ain't I a stinker? Daffy Duck, the real star of the show. Definitely not a pandemic-friendly voice.
Marvin the Martian.
And Tweety, I ta putty tat.
But my participation in Looney Tunes did not start on this. It started back in 2011 on a show called The Looney Tunes Show.
Yeah.
Where I got to play Marvin the Martian.
Yes, over there. You've got him on deck right there. Where is he? Where's he at?
Oh, he's right here.
Where's he at? Let me at him.
I can take a little credit for that, right, Bauza?
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the.
I was in the room and I went, "What about Bauza?" Because I was really gunning for Bauza to do Bugs and Daffy and everybody even back then.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. So there was a previous incarnation in 2011. You get the gig of Marvin the Martian thanks to Matt Danner, who was producing, directing. Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, I helped develop it and produced at least all of the first season and
the pilot.
And directed. I directed all the music videos and or not all of them, like through the series, but in the first season, like most of them, and all the Wile E. Coyote, all the CG Wile E. Coyote shorts.
Incredible. So you two connect on that. You help lead Eric to where he is now, where he is the iconic cartoon, for my money, Bugs Bunny.
Hey, he helped me too, man. We were, we've been artistic travelers together for many a year. So
you didn't just travel, you homesteaded, right? You guys were roommates?
We were
right there. That was my bedroom. No, I'm just kidding. That's the office that we're in right now. That's the toy box.
Yeah.
But I was a resident of the Danner Manor, as we like to call it, or Casa de Danzilla.
Casa de Danzilla, yeah, or the Colbath House.
The Colbath kids.
The Colbath kids. It was like a Muppet show. We had
it really was
like people came in and out of there, like family and friends, and we had a band stay with us for a while.
If only, Aaron, we had known you back then, you would have been invited to one of our many all-night ragers that we would have sometimes into the early morning. It was quite before we both became fathers, of course. There's no time for that now. But and I mean, even if we wanted to, we couldn't because of the current situation that we're living in.
What year were you roommates?
Man, it was definitely for about the better part of 7 years.
Yeah, it was like 2000.
I'd say maybe five or six.
2005
through. I'd say 6.
Yeah, to like 2013 or something like that.
Because 2005, Coconut Fred was still in production. Yeah. Right? And I was still living at my
I was only hoping Coconut Fred was a roommate just because you were talking about the party.
Yeah.
Coconut Fred on the couch.
Coconut Fred?
Yeah, Coconut Fred and Baloney Sam. He was another one of our friends. We definitely had like an array of of friends that had names very similar to the ones of like Seinfeld characters, like Slippery Pete and you know, Woodchuck and
Woodchuck and Steve-O, and that was Bill Cop's gang that he used
that was
to
his
run.
contribution.
Yeah, Bill Cop, the famous cartoonist Bill Cop is still my neighbor, our neighbor, and so he used to always just walk down the street and come over, and he used to host comedy shows for us. We used to do full comedy shows in the living room, where we'd set up the whole living room like a stage basically, and with an audience, and people would come over. Justin Roiland would come and hang out there, and like
you'd put on the shadow puppet show, shadow puppets and stuff. Like
we would do shadow puppet shows, magic shows. We would do it was crazy. We played all types of games. It was a lot of fun.
It was a hostel for lost artists,
for wayward artists.
Yeah, wow. It was always like me and Matt, and then a guest star. That was kind of like. Don Knotts was there once. Who else? Don Rickles. All the Dons.
The Three Stooges. No, I feel like, and I also feel like that there was always someone there. Like I would wake up in the morning and there'd just be somebody already there, because like, you know, at this point,
multiple,
we just left the door unlocked.
We had multiple Kramers showing up to the house.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, I get that. I mean, 2006 to 2013 was probably the most debaucherous time in my life. We're all about the same age. So that was the pocket where it was, there was just, it wasn't the dude on the couch. There was dudes on the couch.
Oh, yeah. It was always something.
Oh, man. That is, am I missing any more crossover? I mean, we've got the Roommates and Looney Tunes and Muppet Babies.
Well, I mean, Matt always had, you know, his, if I could speak on Matt's behalf while Matt is here, his career in development, as far as animation is concerned, he's definitely was one of the hardest working guys behind the scenes. I don't think I've met anyone that works harder than Matt, and like, he enjoys it though. The thing is like he like makes it look so easy. I don't know like anyone that could take on the amount of work that Matt has in his entire career. And the crazy part is like, you know, it's development. So not a lot of people get to see some of these projects. And I've been lucky enough to be there to see some of the things that he's worked on. Some pilots I wish I could say. You know, and one of the pilots in particular, Muppet Babies, was one of those ones that finally, you know, after like years and years and years of working behind the scenes, something that I knew meant a lot to Matt, because even before Muppet Babies, the reboot show, I mean, he was always Kermit to me. Like even the way you know, his physicality, like he if they ever did
arms
a biopic on Jim Henson, they should cast Matt as Jim Henson. That would be a remarkable like movie. But even before the pilot, that's what I mean. It's like, you know, you see people, you meet people in your life, and you go, oh my God, this guy, you know, he gets it. But like how obsessed I am with Looney Tunes, I could say Matt's obsession with the Muppet universe and Jim Henson and Frank Oz, like it's equivalent to my obsession with, you know, Mel Blanc and Bob Clampett and Chuck Jones. But yeah, I as far as, I mean, I'm sure if Matt even just turns his camera to the right or left, you'll see like some kind of Kermit the Frog.
There's Muppet Babies right back here.
I mean,
there's a bunch of Kermits. You know, there's a Kermit shelf over there that you can't see, but yeah.
And Kermit, the Kermit obsession, we've talked about this before, Matt. I believe I've asked, like, you know, your first inspiration in cartoons, and you said it was Kermit, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, obviously cartoons in general, like, really spoke to me, but in terms of like really connecting with something, it was Kermit, because, you know, he would talk to the camera. And when you're, you know, 3 or 4 and you don't quite know that the TV isn't, I mean, it's real. Like, he was real because he's sitting there and talking to real people and everything. But, you know, he would speak to me, you know, and that was just something that I just found so charming. And like, that just always resonated with me, was the turn to camera and be like, well, what do you think? And then I just be like,
he's talking.
Yeah. And yeah, and then actually it really, like, and I thought again, and that was on Sesame Street, and that's what I grew up on. But when Muppet, because I kind of missed Muppet Show. I was a little too young for Muppet Show when that was on the air. But they started repeating it on doing reruns on Nick at Night when I was like, I want to say like 9 or something. And like, I would not miss it. It was on every night. I loved it. And it was, and I was like, what is that? Like, I had no clue this existed because I only knew about Sesame Street. You know, this is before internet. So it's like, I couldn't like search for Muppet stuff. So I just knew about the movies, like Great Muppet Caper. I used to watch on repeat. But when I used to watch that show, and then when I finally found the Muppet Show, I was like, wow, like this is amazing.
And I know you told me like you were doing Kermit at a very early age, right? Like you were imitating him. I got to ask for Eric, what was your first impression? I read on Wikipedia that you got in trouble in class impersonating, and Lord knows if it's true because it's Wikipedia. But
yeah, apparently I'm married on Wikipedia. Apparently I have a wife. It bodes real well for girls that I try to date. Is they Google me instantly and it says that I'm married to someone. And
let's put it out there. Let's let them know.
Red flag.
He's single, ladies, and
he's available.
This portion of the interview is brought to you by eHarmony. eHarmony coffee beans.
Swipe right.
Yeah. But you're gonna say I got in trouble in school for impersonating?
So I said you got in trouble in school for impressions. Is that true?
Yeah, the famous story that I often tell now in some interviews lately, because a lot of Canadian press has been latching onto the news and facts that, you know.
Now, why would that be?
Well, you know, the Canadians love to see other Canadians do well, I guess.
He's a hero, man.
Despite the deflection with your hat.
Well, no, I came dressed for the job. You know, you dress for the job you want, and
that's right. Well, we'll
wearing a Dot Warner T-shirt for a reason, but but in school, because you know, Wikipedia is right. I used to be a troublemaker in school, so the teachers in high school would sit me in the front of the class. But what that did was they would often walk to the back of the class because other troublemakers would be there, so I wasn't the only one. But when you're in the back of the class, you can't see my face. So our school receptionist, her name was Jan Corey, and she sounded like Marge Simpson's sisters. She sounded like, because she was I assume she was a heavy smoker. She sounded like Patty and Selma. So what I used to do was I used to throw my voice at the front of the class. So if you're a teacher in the back, it sounds like, you know, Miss King, can Eric Bauza please come to the main office? So like, I would just be like Weekend at Bernie's, just kind of like sitting still there. And it wouldn't look like it was coming from me. And my teacher, Miss King, and there are witnesses, she was fooled by this. So I called myself out of class in the secretary's voice, and I would like go to the cafeteria and eat chocolate bars for 30 minutes and come back. But yeah, it was like that. But the teachers at my high school were very supportive, and they knew, well, we got to let him get his creative, you know, his let him perform, you know. So they would allow me to do like the morning announcements, or anytime there was an assembly, I would be able to host it and do impressions of people, and you know, all sorts of goofy stuff like that.
I don't know if you're seeing my face go, they didn't do that. They didn't harbor anything for me at all.
No, well, but hey, look, you turned out like a great guy. You have a show, and
can I quote that on eHarmony, by the way?
I mean, technically we are on your show.
Turned out like a great guy.
We are on your show.
We're on your show.
That is the funny part.
You're the one with the show.
Thank you.
I will also say that Bauza's impressions continue, and if I may speak for him for a minute, and are incredible. But I think he learned his lesson, because he'll never do an impression of someone to them. So apparently he's got a fabulous Matt Danner impression. Everyone has told me, and I have never ever seen it.
It involves me standing on a chair because Matt's so much taller than me. I'm
please.
5'5".
You're not going to get it because I'm on the call.
Oh,
I was trying to draw up, speaking of those school assemblies and impressions, here is, and I don't know if I can even get this to play right now because it might be too old, but my brother found a VHS cassette of me at one of these assemblies. So here's me in high school as Mr. Bean. I was doing a Mr. Bean impression.
Look at that.
Me as Mr. Bean in front of an entire high school.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? I have 4 minutes of this, and I'll probably post it online somewhere to really embarrass myself. But
the voice too.
Bean. Oh, yeah, I love Rowan Atkinson. He's he played Zazu in Lion King, the bird. But yeah, I was that was it. That was how they allowed me to be creative and not get in trouble. Is just to, entertain an entire high school. Every pep rally or assembly in the gym.
And man, you looked good in a suit too. Like put
that yeah, no, I've become a father, so I'm all schlubby, and it's my Jedi robe. It's a Nike hoodie, zip up.
That's voiceover badass. Like you're in your voiceover Jedi outfit, but it's nice to know for the ladies on eHarmony. Like there's like a 2x
going back to that.
I've been wearing suits since I was a kid, and B, if you have a kid with me, it'll be a sharp dressed kid. It's like that's like the whole package, baby.
This is it. This has actually just become our eHarmony pitch video.
Yeah, that's right. I'm into it. Hey, let's.
That's it.
There it is.
You got to do the fist bump for the pandemic.
Yeah, but that's right. I know it's the bro bow. You got to bow it because you got a little distance.
Bro.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good one.
Big year with obviously for both of you, and this is the last time we talked. I got to, as I said last night, it was an incredible way to spend the evening. 20 episodes of Looney Tunes cartoons on HBO Max, and as you said before, Bugs, Daffy, Tweety, Pepe Le Pew, Marvin, and what I love is that they're jam packed with jokes. Like it's fast paced, jam packed, and it plays to the classic nature of it, but also has this modern take. It was exceptional. So that's just my stamp that.
Thanks.
And very 2021, because I believe your first or one of your first lines is from Daffy Duck. Do you know what your first lines is in episode 1?
Episode 1 of the new batch that just came out?
Mm-hmm.
I know there was one where Bugs says fake news. He cites,
that's
he
so
actually
funny
says
that
the term.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
you say
fake
that.
news.
And what was Daffy's though?
It was Science Prevails.
Oh, Science Prevails. Yes, that was the where they go to the Monkey Bird Temple.
Monkey Bird Temple was incredible, and also like what a great line as we were into 2021 of Science Prevails. So thank you for that message, Danner. Hello, award winner.
Yeah,
you won the Emmy for outstanding performer in a preschool animated program.
I did. Thank you.
Amazing.
I still, for the record, I still think it was a clerical error, and Bauza should have won.
I know.
I mean, if you look at that,
both up for it,
If you look at who is in that category, I mean, any one of us definitely.
Oh yeah, it was like Maurice LaMarche and Kevin Michael Richardson. It's like these are guys that like I've worked with, but I'm like I idolize as like my cartoon voice heroes.
But you won. Where's the
heart? I swear, one of these days they're going to ask for it back, and they're going to go, "Oh, actually, we made a mistake."
Yeah, it's a Danner.
No. That's how humble Matt is. You see, the day before we had rehearsals, and on the record, off the record, we were all joking around, we were all laughing because we're sitting in suits on Zoom, at the Emmys over in a pandemic, which is already like a what a weird achievement to be being recognized for our work in a pandemic and being there in a pandemic, everything in a pandemic. And I remember Matt just having a good time and laughing, and
it was the most fun I had because we all know each other, so it was like we were just all joking around and.
But Matt being very, very humble and very self-deprecating was kind of like, I don't even know why I'm here, and but I was like, Matt, because you're a good actor, that's at the bottom line. It's like there's a reason why you're here, and it's because you're a great actor, and you are now being recognized for it, and then he wins. He won.
So, if you saw the footage, because here's what happened. So I had a Kermit doll ready to go, and I think you had a Fozzie doll ready to go to so like to do like a to say hey to the other performers, because they literally told us, hey, if you don't get the award, smile and clap for the winner because you're still going to be on camera. And I was like, great, I'll flash Kermit, and that'll be my little joke because I'm definitely not going to win this. And so then they say in the Oscar, the award goes to, And I was ready to bring the Kermit up to support whoever got it. And then they're like, Matt Danner. And I went,
yeah.
and I just froze for a second. And then suddenly the feed popped to my face. And I went, am I on? And then the director was in my ear and he goes, yes, say something. And I was like, oh. And thankfully I did take Maurice LaMarche's advice, and I did write the thank yous down, and I had them on my computer because I had them ready to go, thankfully. And I barreled through the list, and then I got to do a yay at the end. And then, but I couldn't believe it. I was beside myself. And for the record, there's footage of it on my Twitter. I walked in to the house after I did it, and I guess it was still broadcasting on the television. So you see me walk in and while my wife's filming it, and I'm literally only wearing the top half of a suit because that's all we needed. So I'm only wearing like the shirt, the jacket, and the tie, and I'm wearing shorts and flip-flops.
The Emmy goes to Matt Danner.
Daddy won!
Am I on? Hello. Hi. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Academy, of course, for this. My wonderful wife, Annie, and my daughter, Leona, my parents, John and Judy, our fearless leader, Tom Warburton, for putting on this show, Debbie McKellen for giving me a shot at this voice, Joe Sitka, the Advanced Media team, you know who you are, Robin Brown, Andy Bean, Chris Hamilton, and the Oddbot crew, Nancy Cantor, Jonah Brescia, Kim Scott for giving us a shot, Colin Sunderman and the wonderful cast, Atlas Oceanic Boombox Rebel Studios, and the Hayden for their blessing. And as Kermit would say, thanks everybody! Yay!
Can we see the hardware? Can we see?
Yes, I have it right here.
Yay!
Pull it out.
It is as heavy as it looks.
It's a very bottom heavy statue.
Yeah, and they spelled my name right, so that was good. Yeah,
I have held one Emmy before for the Ben Stiller show. It was Brent Forrester's, who did Simpsons, The Office, etc. And he brought it to the show, and I got to do some curls with it. And
it's like a barbell.
It is the
also you could fit a beer right on that thing. I've seen people drink beers out of it. It fits. It slides right in there.
I wanted to attach it to the hood of my car just as like a ridiculous hood ornament.
That's like a Mad Max weapon.
Actually, no. I mean, you could. I'm always very careful when I carry it. I carry it off to the side because I have this nightmare that I'm just going to trip and stab myself in the eyes with these two things.
Yeah, there on the wings. You could put. That's where you put the beers on the wings.
You can stick a beer right here. Yeah, probably.
It is a I've seen people chug a beer from the wings of an Emmy.
Yeah, flashback to 2006, man. We're there with the dudes on the couch and our Emmy drinking beer out of it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That was the thing. I remember that night I hit the store. I grabbed a bottle of champagne and I drove it to Matt's because we lived so close together. But at the same time, if this were a non-pandemic Emmys, we would have been at a bar celebrating, with the rest of the crew and the rest of all the other nominees and stuff. That was, but still, it was definitely, it's an Emmy. Emmys, you've been to one, you've been to them all, and that was just as good as all the other ones I'd been to. And
it was fun. I gotta say it was fun because again, just hanging out in the green room and just hanging out with a bunch of funny people, like even because we had like a producer with us and he was just cracking up the whole time, and I think it started turning into that where we started Maurice LaMarche was doing like commercials for Tux butt wipes.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Like during
Maurice LaMarche, if the fans watching now know him as the Brain from Pinky and the Brain, and his famous Orson Welles impression, and
we all started doing Orson Welles too, because I'm I started doing Orson Welles because of your Orson Welles, and he started going like, oh yes, Rosebud frozen peas, and doing that whole thing.
Perfect.
You guys are extraordinary. I thank you so much for joining us again. People have got to check out Looney Tune cartoons on HBO Max, Disney Plus, Muppet Babies. They're back. Third season,
and Muppet Show coming out in February.
Incredible. Tell the people why, as we leave here, they need to watch Who's the Ross. But I would love it if you could do it as Statler and Waldorf, who you both play from the Muppets. I mean, also you can tell them why they should watch the show or why they should not watch the show. Maybe more on brand, gentlemen. Go.
Well, I had been watching the show, Waldorf, and I'll tell you, he ain't that bad.
He ain't good either. I fell asleep.
You guys are so awesome. Thank you, Kanye Westie. Appreciates you being at the birthday party. We say,
Happy birthday, dog.
we say, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thank you.